Today we're going to be covering the strongest Aztec strategy that I know of. The idea goes like this. We're going to have to take over this province here to become animist. From there, we're going to dev for the first institution, and then we need to share that institution with one of the boys up here that we can't see, so that we can reform off them to become tribal. The reason we want to do this is, 1, indigenous ideas gives 20% province war score cost, and then 2, they have longhouses, and those give crazy reform progress growth. If this all sounds confusing, don't worry about it. You'll understand what I mean as we go. It's one of those concepts I feel it's easier to show than tell. We're going to start off with all the privileges today. I think as a smaller nation, it's more acceptable to give out all the privileges, just because that way, well, autonomy is not as big of a deal, but also it's easier to, let's say, provoke the rebels, lower autonomy everywhere. It's not as big of a deal. But if you do that with someone like the Ottomans, you need to lower autonomy everywhere. It's a little bit more painful. Anyhow. I also am not the best with the states, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. However, these are going to be United States. The important thing to know is that we have all 3 minor privileges. We're going to go ahead and seize land. We're going to grant generalship to Montezuma. Make sure you do it through this menu. When I first tried the nation, I got trolled when I just made him a leader, and he rolls random stats. It's super annoying. You can't, fix it. Anyhow, we are going to recruit the Free Company, and we're going to look to ally probably these 2 guys that are on the right and left of this guy, just to help us in the war. We're going to promise land, and of course, we're going to lie to them. I know, how dare we. December 11th, let's go ahead and declare war. Looks like only one of my allies will go for land. Although I don't know if this looks like a realistic war to me. He has so many allies, I'm not going to lie. I think it's just going to be a restart if he gets 3 allies, actually. So we're going to run it back. I'm going to skip ahead to the first war, though, so I'm not going to make you guys go through that pain again. I forgot this the first time, but we want to do this interaction here. And then we can do this interaction here and pick the core creation cost and AE impact. So you can see this timing at 1 ally, so that's much better RNG for me. This guy rivaled me, though, so I couldn't ally him, so it is what it is. But we're going to call in just this guy over here and jump into the war. I'm a little late on my mercs here, but I think I'll be okay. I've seen the quick stack wipe. There it is. This war can be hard, though, depending on the alliances, just a fair warning. Now, you don't need anything crazy from this guy. If you can just get the 1 province, that's fine. I guess I'll take 2 provinces just because why not? But 1 province would also work. I'll grab money and maybe war reps. Okay, you won't do that. No problem. The important part, of course, is just reaching this guy, and you will get a free claim once you border him. So that's pretty nice. And then this war is a joke. And for this event here, make sure you pick the bottom option so that you upgrade your great project. It's important for your mission tree later. And of course, our alliance is going to break. That's expected. We didn't give any of the land that we promised. I'll just dissolve. So in this war, you could annex Migratory Tribe. I just feel like he colonizes for you kind of for free, if that makes sense. So I usually just take the province, but it's totally up to you. You can see he just moves here, which is fine with me. Now, the trick with being animist is that you have to core the province first, as well as make sure these rebels are below 30%. So you'll see these rebels here. You may have to harsh treat them, but if we try to convert the province after it's been cored, that will allow us to accept demands to become animist. So for the time being, we don't really want to go to war. We're just going to chill, and we're going to keep an eye on our rebels. So we're not really doing much. We're just making sure these guys go up. I mean, might as well harsh treat these guys. Are going to have to go below the percentage anyways. So it may cost you a bit of points. You could alternately let the rebels spawn. You would just have to lower autonomy if you'd like. Either way works. I could probably turn off my maintenance during this time too. I'm just waiting. No real point of paying for forts and stuff. We do not core very fast. All right, so let's core it up. We're just going to check on these rebels. They're once again above 40, so we're going to have to harsh treat. And now we'll go ahead and attempt to convert. After the month thick, we should be able to get these rebels, and we can go ahead and just accept their demands. And that will cost us crown land, so our crown land will be not great. We'll probably want to seize land in a second here. We'll get our maintenance on to do that. However, we now lose our reforms. We make a ton more money because you no longer have the gold penalty for being native. Of course, we're going to be going back just for now. And to go back, you have to take Cholulu, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to want to encourage development in Mexico because we're going to need to dev the institution now. You can also get your burghers. I believe if there's 60 loyalty and 60 influence, you'll get some dev costs. I don't have the loyalty, and I can't really afford to wait, so that is okay. So we're going to go ahead and just start deving up Mexico. I don't think it really matters which power points we use, but once we dev 3 times, we can grab this mission, which gives you even more dev cost. So yeah, we just need to dev quite a bit. So we're able to get to 35. I believe you need 37 if I remember correctly. I forgot to extend infrastructure, guys. Don't do that. Damn. Oops. That's not even a minor mistake, guys. That's a lot of PowerPoints. Don't make sure to remember that. All right, so we're now present here, and we can embrace the institution. So now we just have to take Cholulu back to become religious again, or that religion again. There is some relative worth in waiting as long as possible to change religion, because you're making quite a bit of money, and you're going to lose that money. So just keep that in mind. However, I'll just declare war on Takala. They're probably going to get subjugated because their capital's getting sieged. Oh, I could definitely have better advisors. I don't know what I'm doing. I forgot I made money. This is an ideal scenario. They retreated this way, and I'm hopefully going to catch somebody. Yeah. Nice stack wipe. I'm going to kind of just run around and try to murder and then maybe siege in a bit. But they're kind of getting siege already, so I hate the scenario where it's like I'm almost fighting their war for them. I'm going to go ahead and just attach the mercs to my army so they don't get killed by being too far behind or something. But Montezuma kind of carries early. You just have to use him in the battles. You should be good to go. I got a breach, actually, so let's kind of send an assault. And be careful only to do this where they don't have a big garrison. Like, don't do it in the actual forts, just as a tip. Like, you'll see here, this actually has a fort, so would not recommend assaulting if they have an actual fort. I've tried it, guys. You can trust me. But yeah, this is typical fashion, how this region can be sometimes, where it's like, you do all the work, and then people come in and snipe the provinces, or really snipe the vassalization. They don't really take land, per se. But it is a very frustrating region, sometimes, for that reason. Now I'm just at war with another person because he got vassalized. Typical. And then I just helped that guy siege that. Great news. So I'm just going to end this war and grab Cholulu, just because that's what I need to convert my religion back. And then I'll get my, like, Flower Wars CB back and stuff, so that'll be a bit more convenient. And we'll see an event in a minute here. There it is, the Temple City of Cholulu. You're just going to hit, this is a fascinating religion, and that switches you back to your original religion. Just so you know, your doom comes back to what it was. It's a little weird. It, like, remembers your doom, I think. So, of course, now we're going to have our Flower Wars back. And this part is really just going to be completely different in every game. Like, you're not going to be able to attack the same people that I attack necessarily. It's kind of just about looking around and seeing what's a good war. That's my best recommendation. Like, go around every target and just kind of assess the situation and think to yourself, which war is the easiest war? I think it's these guys. You probably don't even need a co-belligerate ever because Doom. So we'll just go ahead and declare war on Titilian, and hopefully we're better. Generally, they don't fight together that well, so you can get a free stack wipe on somebody, and that will basically carry the war. Just make sure you don't let the person you stack wipe recruit more guys. So for me, I just make sure to siege them down quickly. But remember, we're back to our mini game, so we do need to do like the 5 subjects thing, like all of this. We're going to have to do that. If it doesn't make sense why we did what we did at the start, is because we wanted to take the institution, because we're going to need to share it later. So keep that in mind. There was a reason. So in this case, low garrison, we'll just send the assault. Nice and easy. So what I might want to do here is just kind of like let the Doom gather a little bit, because I might be a little worried about my aggressive expansion. Yeah, my Doom goes up really, really fast. Yeah, I even gain Doom here. Again, Doom's kind of a mechanic where you gotta like find the balance. You don't want too little, but you don't want too much. You can see here how quickly the AE will go down if you kind of just look at this number. So like every 2 months it goes down quite a bit. So yeah, just play with the balance that you like. Of course, max mill points here. Don't do that. I tried it for you guys. You can just dev up as normal now. You don't need to save points or anything, because you won't be getting reformed off the Europeans, so you'll have to tech up on your own with this strategy. Just bear that in mind. So in this war, you're going to want to vassalize everyone, but you also kind of want to connect to other nations if you can, because your CBs requires a border. But I'm just going to separate piece out all these people. Our Doom's pretty high now, so I don't think we'll be coalition, but just that is something to keep in mind. You don't want to get coalition, it'll really slow you down. Make sure you vassalize everyone you can. That is how the minigame is played. I made a little mistake there. I meant to do the Mesoamerican tributary with the other guys. I totally forgot about that, so it's not a huge deal. It's just a little annoying. So we'll go ahead and tributary that guy. And we'll take one of his provinces. Why not? It's good to weaken people as well so that you can vassalize them later easier. My Doom is climbing uncomfortably fast. 10 a year. Slightly concerning. However, let's just declare war. And then we will solve that problem by passing our first reform. They sent me an earthquake. I guess we'll take the one on the bottom here. It looks like it gives you discipline. But yeah, negative 10 Doom is going to be helpful. I do feel like maybe they up the rates of the events, but like there's a lot of Doom events. Or I'm lucky, one of the two. I do have that nice mill 2 advantage on some of these people, so I definitely start to really feel that difference. Most of your time is just going to be spent sieging forts, though. And then the breaches are your saving grace. Now, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. But I'll shift consolidate. Okay? But you guys won't do this. Okay, this is just for demonstration purposes. You wouldn't be so greedy. Okay, guys, see, this is why you don't do this. There was a bait, actually. I've got them right where I want them. Uh-huh. Yeah, Montezuma died, and what happens when Montezuma dies is your game has to crash, unfortunately. Even though I stack wiped them there, it's too bad. I can't lose Montezuma so soon. We'll use this opportunity that Montezuma died to rethink his life. He's only 42, so that's, I don't know, kind of unfortunate if he dies super early. The rebellion averted. I've never seen that in all my runs. It always happens on the event, so I thought it was 100% chance and just said 50, I'm not going to lie. Vassalize one guy and tributary the other. some cash. That'll put us up to 5 subjects. That's the important part. We need to make sure our subjects aren't disloyal before we pass the reform, because we'll lose our subjects if they are disloyal. Because you should be able to get 2 reforms done with each set of vassals, I suppose you could call it. I might get strong duchies if possible, just to help out. And that should do it. So now we can just go ahead and pass that reform. I'll go with the stab cost first, because we're going to have to stab up, probably. Okay, so we did gain 50 doom. You can notice we have all our subjects. You need less than 25 doom to pass reforms. So what we're going to do for this strategy is kind of pick the lowest subject, looter desire-wise. And we're going to dev him up a bit. We're doing this for loyalty. You can see he's down at 3%. And now we can just go ahead and spam the interaction here. So we're going to demand sacrifice. And then basically every month we're just going to demand another sacrifice from this guy. And every time we do that, it's going to lower our doom by 10. So demand sacrifice here. So he's a little disloyal now. What we can actually do is use one of these interactions to get the last bit, because we need less than that. So what you want to do here is just maybe look through your subjects and find the best possibility here. Because you can use this one when they're upset. So just go ahead and make them sacrifice there. And you can see we can pass the next reform straight away. This one will make us lose all the subjects, but that's normal. You can see that we were able to pass 2 reforms with 1 set of subjects. Which, yeah, they made this a lot easier than before. Let's just be honest. So now it's the same type of thing. We're just looking around. Who's an easy war? Sometimes there's not many options. Like, this is really hard. Eventually, I should be able to get Miltech 3, and that'll put me significantly ahead. So I could kind of do that if the wars are kind of looking too difficult. You just kind of have to judge it yourself. This war looks the easiest to me, and he's also at war, so whatever. It always looks like you're super outnumbered, but bear in mind there's a lot of disloyal subjects when you're looking at kind of like how big the armies of the enemies are. So like this guy's actually not going to move probably. Keep that in mind. You can really isolate them because they're not going to really group up. Definitely utilize the disloyal subject thing to your advantage. Of course, you lose doom when you win battles too, so it's never a bad thing to just farm that if you need to. See, this guy's disloyal, so I can just go stack wipe him. Very nice, very easy. I need to get back to Mexico sooner than later. Hopefully those forts can hold for a bit. We got a breach, the dream, another siege race. Pray that he doesn't get the siege on Mexico. No, oh, rip. Hopefully I get a breach. That's unfortunate. Okay, so we got Mexico back. These wars are really toxic sometimes. And there's so many people in it, so it's kind of painful. I kind of hate when one person has so many subjects, but it'll happen. Yeah, what I think I want to do is just piece out Zalico. I'll just take Tanala as a subject from him, like separate piece. The war is just kind of being annoying, and I need less people in it. Probably the impact for my first age ability as well. Another nice assault here because we have no garrison. Crushed him there. Would be ideal to get 5 subjects in this war. It might be possible. We'll go ahead and make Atami a vassal. Actually, we need to make him a Mesoamerica tributary. Remember that. I keep forgetting. So make sure you do that instead. It's a lot cheaper. Probably improve relations with somebody because, again, I need somebody that's super loyal that I can, maybe dev and that sort of thing. So it's going to be smart to improve with one of your subjects. And now I can end the war. And what I'm thinking is just annexing this guy. And since he has all these subjects, they should just go to me. I'm not sure if that will make them more loyal because it was like, peacefully done. No, definitely not. I was dreaming. But I did get a mission here. Liberty's Iron subjects, -10. That's super handy right now. We are going to demand sacrifices, of course. We're pretty close for our next 2 reforms, you could say. So demand sacrifices do need to be below 20. So demand sacrifices again. The only thing here is now we have to get our subjects all loyal and we're going to lose them. So this could be a little bit painful. If you're going to placate a couple people, maybe you have to dev. Yeah, we can triple placate. And then maybe for Thakala, we'll need to just like dev them up a bit. Bit of a waste of points, but I think it's worth the points in the long run to do that. So I'll go ahead and pass my next reform. We might as well get that war exhaustion here. So I'm going to go to Atami and then probably dev him up a bit. Maybe throw him a placate. And now we can demand sacrifices a bunch of times. He's a little upset, a little bit more dev. Should do the trick. So we got one more demand to go. Demand sacrifices. Okay. So we can go ahead and pass our 4th reform. Doesn't really matter which we pick. Don't worry too much about debt and that sort of thing. You'll be really rich later. We're out of manpower, so it would be nice if I could get mercs, but I don't think I can at the moment. I need to get rid of the other free companies so the new one with more men can be hired, probably. Could perhaps slacken. Yeah, we are pretty desperate for manpower at this point. May have to just chill for a bit, try to get some men back. That's perfectly fine to do. We're getting a lot of Doom events here. So I found a pretty easy looking war here with Husatec. Though my manpower is not great, I think we'll just go for it. Go ahead and declare this war. It's not that many nations, just these 2 people. No fort. We're going to assault, even though we have no manpower, and it's probably bad. We did stack wipe them. Wasn't pretty. But now we're just going to make sure they can't recruit any more guys. And just have to deal with the other person, and we're good to go. There's a stack wipe. Pretty easy. Then it's just a matter of sieging. So I'll go ahead and make this guy a tributary. And make this guy a tributary as well. We got another mission here done. Just running some provinces so we get a center trade upgrade. Nothing matters really that much. I guess we have another mission done. I find myself just randomly having missions done a lot with these guys. You know, all good things. We're not really going for anything in particular though. So 2 more subjects to go and then we can start just conquering people. Our leader did die. I'm just gonna let it happen. It is what it is. No leader to carry us in battle anymore though. So we're just trying to find the easiest war possible. There's not really anything that easy looking at the moment. We also have no manpower, so we might just have to like not fight for a sec. I happen to actually have a CB on Zapotec probably for one of my missions, so this actually looks like a pretty good war. In fact, I can get mercs now, and that's going to be very nice. So let's go ahead and declare that war. Got a breach, thank goodness. Thank goodness for breaches. Meanwhile, they're just going for Mexico, the classic. So I'll get in position to sack wipe them here. And here we go. I know sack wipe, but hey, that's okay. Not going to win the siege race, so I just have to go for the battle. And sack wipe. So I'm going to make this guy a tributary, and then make the main target tributary. Got to stab up here, and then pass the last reform. So very nice. All done. So now we just find the easiest wars. This guy's free. We still have a lot to do because we have to conquer all of Mexico. So that is just going to be the next process. And yeah, just same things before. You just kind of go at this at the easiest possible angle. Whichever wars are easier for you. It's going to be a lot different in every game. And just assault as often as possible. I thought I would have lost all the subjects for passing the last reform, but I guess they must have been loyal. It is what it is. Kind of annoying, actually. Remember, you can't dev for the next institution yet because you're still not reformed. You won't be able to for a bit. Strategy is definitely harder with the bigger payoff, just as a side note. Grab Abin 5, and I'm going to go exploration. Looks like I can annex my vassals, though, so I will go ahead and do that. Maybe that will allow me to push in a different direction. Of course, I can't annex all of them. I got careful, which is kind of nice, or yeah, we'll take that. Because AE might be a little bit more of a factor now that our doom's kind of going down. But I do just need to start annexing people. I might just actually push to the right because this gigantic box of alliances actually, it looks easier to maybe break through over here. Once I annex this guy, I should be able to. What's annoying is that I couldn't get the annexation policy because they're not technically vassals. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I get the Diplo rep. At least there's still a base of 1 no matter what. But a little bit annoying that you can't get that policy. I'm going to go ahead and do a quest for the New World, mostly for Conquistador. I need to go exploring over here. So we'll go ahead and just grab a Conquistador and head over here. We need to find a nation to reform off of. I'm going to go ahead and pick the repression policy. And we're going to colonize up here. So you're just boarding to one of these 2 guys up here. It should be fine. We actually just want to befriend somebody that we connect to. So I'm going to go start improving relations. You do have to finish colonizing, though, before you can share the institution. Just keep that in mind. I'm going to start annexing the other tributaries. I'm definitely a fan of the they don't need to be loyal thing. Because they would not be loyal. Go ahead and declare flower wars on Itza. So basically just going to be aggressively annexing everybody now. So we're just going to go ahead and annex that guy, and then we're going to annex these other 2. I'm going to declare the next war straight away, just in case they do want to coalition me, because it's possible, for sure. But you should get to the point where there's really not enough people to coalition, but it can be a problem if you're not careful. Definitely just takes a long time to get these sieges done, and there's not really anything to speed up that process. And they start to have a lot of real forts towards the 1500s, which we're just about to hit, so you'll not really be able to assault much, unfortunately. And the Europeans arriving is going to be a pretty big variation of RNG, just so you guys are aware. I've seen them show up as early as 1500, sometimes 1520, so it's going to be a little bit different what you do depending, but if they do find you, my best advice would be to let them win a war against you and then just instantly declare war on the new colony and fully annex them. I finally integrated all my subjects here. As soon as I siege this out, I can fully annex these guys, so just have to wait. Taking its sweet time. Normally I conquer these guys first, but this game it kind of just ended up, you know, there's that super alliance block that I'm just kind of avoiding right there. I'll deal with it later. I figured I'd rather go for the easy wars and build up and then come back. So every game's going to be a little different, of course. So separate piece this guy, and then we're just going to annex those other 2. So I'm just going to move on to the next war. You have a pretty big tech advantage, so wars aren't crazy hard again. It just takes a long time to siege. And I probably should get rid of the forts too. Yeah, I really can't afford to have all these forts. I didn't realize how many forts I was actually paying for. I'm going to grab a few more guys to help siege here. So we're half fighting these wars that are super easy, half dealing with rebels. Haven't seen any signs of the Europeans yet. So we're just kind of like 5 speed and siege. So I repeat this guy, colonization. Let's go ahead and finish these last 2 guys off. Colonization. These guys can be nice over here because they're not the subject type. So they more so just have alliances. Do need to grant a land right here. Plus because we have this nasty privilege, the triple alliance. We'll get rid of it later. It will actually automatically go away because we're going to reform and we won't have estates. Speaking of that, I should go ahead and ally to that guy. And I can start sharing the institution. Because I can't offer knowledge sharing, I should be able to. Outside of colonial range. Interesting. Maybe I'll try getting the extra range. I don't really know that that will make a difference, but let's see. I'm just going to declare this big war. Past time that I took care of it. It's going to be a lot of people in the war. He has subjugated everyone. We're just kind of sieging people down. Most of these guys are probably disloyal, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Just kind of having to deal with rebels, though, every now and again. This is an annoying scenario. Apparently I have a truce with this guy for some reason. I'm not sure why. We're just doing some nice rebel simming, though. Gotta get rid of the forts again. Trying to delete forts. It's important that I'm making a bit of money, but right now we don't really do that. I'm trying to colonize, though. I don't really know that I need to colonize. It's just I'm not able to share the institution yet. I don't know why I'm having that issue, though. There is a Portugal, which is kind of not good. I need to reform up this guy first, but for some reason I'm not able to. It's kind of frustrating. It just says outside colonial range of any province. We technically are spreading the institution very slowly to them. It's just not going to be that fast. I wish I could offer it to them, but the game is kind of trolling me. So I might have a problem. If I connect to Portugal first, then the game's going to want to reform Portugal, so I kind of have to hurry. It's also not good news that Portugal's here. He won't end this war, though. It's so annoying. I have to wait literally 10 years to fight him. I'm not going to drag this war out for 10 years, that's for sure, but yeah, this is just super annoying. Like, please, dude, end the war. I might just have to truce break. I really don't want to do this. I just feel like I don't have another choice here. I'm going to have to truce break. -5 stab. Lovely. Thanks, game. I just feel like I don't have another choice, really. I'm going to grab these provinces here, and I'll probably be forced to have this guy as a vassal, which I don't love, but whatever. That did complete a mission for me. I do have a bit of an issue, though. This outside of colonial range nonsense, I don't really get why it's happening. So I'm going to have Flongization with these two guys, and now Flongization with this guy that I had to truce break, which was, you know, not the most fortunate scenario, but we got another mission done. If you actually hold these missions, you actually get far better rewards, so I shouldn't have clicked these. As a side note for your game. Pretty close to getting my High American Tech. I think just need a handful more provinces. I think you have to own the cities directly, so subjects kind of screw you over, which is why it sucks that I have these guys as a subject. But I better start improving relations with my subject, so I do need to annex him. And we do have a few more people to murder off. We have a bit of an issue here with, like, you know, we would reform now, but we don't want to reform, so we can't really do that. So that kind of sucks, because we need to reform off of this person, and they, for whatever reason, will not accept the institution from me. I don't know why. They just don't like me. They'll eventually just get the institution from being next to me, but that's just really not ideal. I'm not sure why. I didn't have issues with this last time, so I'm not really sure why this is happening. I'm going to abandon this over here just because I want Portugal to make it his. That way he's a colony and I can deck on him. That way I definitely can get the institution going that way. But I do need to finish off these last wars. We're getting there. So go ahead and declare war here. Fire wars. We should be fighting basically everyone left. I need to hire the free company because I'm not actually sieging anything. That's better. I'll tell you what, guys. The rebel sim has been real. Prepare for that. Oh, I didn't core my land. Yikes. I don't have a gov cap. Cool. Land right here. I need to get rid of that bad privilege because it's costing me a bit over my gov cap. That's okay. Everything will be fine. There's just so many rebels. Age of Reformation's here. We really just, yeah, we're trying to finish off the last of these wars. And then we got to do a rebel sim. But we are getting destroyed by those guys. And we are having a little bit of an issue with this institution scenario. We just are not able to offer him the institution for whatever reason. I'm not sure if they patched something. And I'm not really sure what is up with that. With it, we're just gonna have to deal with it. My plan is just I'll have to release a nation, so I'm not bordered to Portugal anymore, or I can murder Portugal. Those are the two options. So I'm just gonna have to deal with rebels for a little bit here, like a lot of rebels. But yeah, the rebels are real. I'm out of manpower once again, so I'm gonna end this war, colonization, with everyone. That gave us a mission here, divide and conquer, and this one as well, liberate iron subjects. Sure, just some nice things overall. Now we can do this mission here. Our name will change to Aztec, or however you say it, and of course later on we'll be able to have that colonization frontiers mechanic, but right now we of course can't do that. Getting Diplotex 7 to see if I can maybe, yeah, I still can't share the trade. I don't know what I did wrong there, but that's okay. It is what it is. Probably get rid of some guys. My manpower is just so shot. Can't really afford people. I want these things to finish colonizing so I can go to war with this guy. He's Miltech 10, but he also has 3,000 guys, so I should get ready to go to war with him soon. If I could annex this guy, it'd be helpful as well, so I'm going to try that. Because I could get High American Tech if I do. So we're going to go ahead and start annexing that guy. The reason I could get High American Tech is because I think I'm 72 of 75 on the provinces required. Yeah, so if I annexed him, I should be good to go. But it will take a minute. I believe I have the Diploret penalty at the moment still. So that's not going to be... Yep. So this is kind of expected, and it is what it is. Of course, I don't quite have the High American Tech yet, but yeah, that's going to hurt a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Portugal's decked on me, but yeah, we'll just have to do our best. This is great. Yeah, so bad things are happening now. Lots of bad things. Yeah, we could try to win this war, I guess. It's just kind of awkward at the moment. We have to take a little bit of loans here. This isn't ideal. My nation's just in a little bit of a disaster. I don't really want to fight Portugal at the moment. It's a little annoying. But I'm not surprised he decked on me at any rate. It's just annoying. I feel like I don't really have the money to deal with it right now. He has a couple thousand guys. That's why I crewed the Grand Company. It's not ideal for me, but, you know, send him the full stack wipe. Get the win there. This war is, so far, it's not terribly difficult. He's just not really here. He doesn't really have a lot to fight me with. There's definitely an argument to just let him win the war. But at the same time, I don't need to. Can grab Mil 8, I suppose. I don't know how far behind in military. I think I'm only like maybe one level behind him in tech. I definitely need depth institution, though. And Portugal really just doesn't have anything here. I don't know why he declared this war. Seems like he is not here. I didn't plan to fight this, but it is what it is at this point. I'm trying to annex my guys so I can get the High American Tech group. We're getting there. We don't annex very fast. I suppose I can grab the integration policy because he's actually a subject. I'm going to do that. Speed it along a tiny bit. This guy does have the Renaissance, so I could reform off of him. The trick is that I need to not connect to Portugal. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So I'm about to get my subjects annexed. That's of course good because we can do punish the invaders and we can grab the High American Unit Tech. I'm going to end the war with Portugal, just going to grab all these provinces. So now I'm going to reform my religion, and it should reform me into tribal. So you can see here I'm a tribe. And we're doing this for two main reasons. A is because we can get indigenous, and that gives this province war score cost. And then B, we can build these crazy buildings, these longhouses, and they're going to each give you 0.10 reform growth. That's what we're going to be working on for a little bit. Probably get rid of these mercenaries, though. We do lose our estates as well, so it is what it is. We are over our gov cap. Nothing to worry about. Really, what we want to do here is a little tricky. We need to build longhouses everywhere to get this going, but we also don't want to bankrupt. So you got to find the right balance. And there's no burger zones, of course, because there's no burgers. Can embrace colonialism, though I don't really need to. We'll maybe save that for later, because we just need to build the longhouses. So we're just going to go through and build as many as we can. We're probably going to take, nearly the max amount of loans. We're going to have to pay off our small loans, like these 26 second ones. So take a few more loans. Again, you want to make sure you're not going bankrupt or anything like that, but we do need longhouses basically everywhere. You'll be able to recover from this, so it's not too big of a deal. Once you reform your government, you'll be able to benefit from the gold again. Keep that in mind. It's a little bit of, scary to be in many loans, but you'll be okay. I'm not sure I can even reasonably build these everywhere. I want to build these everywhere. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. I have 28 loans of 31, and I do need to save some money so I can not go bankrupt, of course. That's what I was kind of talking about, that balance. Make sure you don't take max loans. I wasn't able to build them everywhere, but it's enough that it should definitely give us somewhere to go with. I want to try to spend as little money as possible, too. Obviously, crazy interest, but I almost wonder if I'm in trouble. Bankruptcy would not be good. Let's get rid of our advisor. Let's turn off our maintenance. Try to not be spending any money because we really need to hold on. Can even reduce our inflation a bit. Not that I want to waste the points. It's just kind of like we're going to need to survive a bit here. What we probably can do that will suck is reduce autonomy everywhere. This will give us more loan size. It's not going to be pleasant, though. We'll see. What did that do to my loan cap? Yeah, I can have a few more loans. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get rebels now. That is not good. That's why I should have saved those missions, by the way, earlier. That would have given me a lot of gold, but it is what it is. We get 400 ducats from that, and that's desperately needed. Could try to build more longhouses, but that's, I think you want this ceremonial pit as well. You just need one of them, though. And then, yeah, I'm just trying to build more longhouses. Of course, we're trying to get a government reform. And you can see right now, you see all this 0.10. That's what the whole point of it is. But we, by no means, can afford a bankruptcy. We just have to make things work here. I'm going to go ahead and frontier just because I can. And that's going to give me a lot of colonization. You can see here we got 12 colonies or so going. Fair and balanced. We're in a bit of a sketchy spot, of course. We can only take a couple more loans. Bankruptcy is just around the corner, but we're going to hold on. I have faith. And I can grab my tier 4 here. I'm going to save points for my tier 5, of course. But I really do want more longhouses, and it's a little bit brutal at the moment. I'm just going to go around provoking some rebels. They didn't like the lowering autonomy thing I did. They just didn't understand. Yeah, so I'm just going through and provoking everywhere. And there goes my inflation for all those loans. I'm going to agree to one more loan. It shouldn't really make a huge difference, but yeah, the more longhouses you have, the faster this process goes. I could settle. I don't even know what that means. I'm deadly curious what this means. So I'm going to make a little backup and click the button for you. Are you sure you want to settle? What does that mean? I'm scared to press the button. I don't know what this means, but I have to click it. What did that do? I don't know what that did. I'm scared. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't go around clicking buttons you don't know what they do. But it didn't seem to do much. So I don't know. We're just going to ignore the problem. I don't really know what it was. Trying to deal with rebels, though, at the moment. I'm going to try to find maintenance for just a little bit. Can sneak it. Someday I'm going to get the institutions. I just have to have money for that. But I really need to get to Tech 7 here. So I'm trying to get to Tech 7. It's going to be important. My colonies are starting to finish. I do wish I had more money so I could build more of the houses, but it is not really possible at the moment. Maybe once these colonies finish up, I'll have like more development, and then I can maybe get more loans. That's possible. Probably also do more frontiering. It does cost, of course, 75 reform to do that, but I think it's worth it because you're literally making probably a good bit a month. Let's see, about 9 for me. It's not great. I've definitely done better than 9, but it's workable. So that wave of colonies is finished. I'm going to go ahead and establish again. And yeah, we're kind of just growing bigger and bigger. So let's take a couple more loans. Just trying to greed it as much as possible. Obviously missing a lot that we could have. I want to take more loans, but I also am scared too. Yeah, I probably shouldn't take more loans. Yeah, this part's definitely like greedy, but not too greedy. I'm trying to stay on that line. But of course, for our Age of Reformation ability, we can go ahead and grab the Fleetist Wars. That's part of the build. And we'll grab Admin 7. We do need to get Indigenous before we switch to a Theocracy, so keep that in mind. You do need to get this before the Theocracy. I'll focus Mill for a time. It's going to be kind of the hard times for some bit of time. Keep that in mind, because you do need a lot of reform progress to go ahead and get all the reforms done. So that's the idea, is that we're going to switch to Theocracy. We're about a fourth of the way there. I think we need about 4,000 points, if I remember right. Something in that ballpark. We're seeing that bankruptcy looming, which is not a good sign. Things could be better. Let's reduce inflation. Turn off our maintenance. Get rid of the mercs. We need, I'm going to get more indigenous stuff. This one is important too if you get the monthly reform progress modifier. So now we're getting significant more. Losing 5 a month, it's not the worst. Again, we do need 4,000. We're at about 1,400, so still have a long ways to go. Rebels are coming. That means turning on maintenance, which is kind of sketch. You know, I'm just going to exploit dev a bit. That'll actually help a lot. I'm totally fine with that. That'll keep me afloat for several years. I'm not going to spend the money. I'm just going to probably sit on it. I'm going to get more indigenous ideas done. And we're going to continue to rebel sim. But yeah, this is definitely a little bit of a harder strategy to pull off, but it has obviously the much higher reward. It's just kind of like, that's the play style. It's like we're allowed to take a bigger loan now. The bank trusts us for some reason. Of course, another wave of colonies is finishing up. I don't have to keep building more colonies. It might be an okay idea just to kind of wait. But it really doesn't slow me down too badly. Just a few months, but either way is fine. For this point, I'm only getting, a handful of colonies anyways. It's still good, but it's probably not necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and abandon exploration. I don't really need it. Well, I'll get it again probably, but I want to go diplomatic for the province force forecast. So I just kind of want both of these province force forecasts you can see here. Portugal's about to declare war on me, which isn't very nice, if I'm being honest. Doesn't Portugal understand that I'm already in the hard times? I don't need him to do anything. Maybe he can give me money, actually. But I don't really want to fight him. Trying to just save up my points at the moment, but yeah, he's going to declare war. So I get to fight him. The dream. But yeah, I can't really go into loans to fight him much. He's got 7,000. This is really annoying. I can take a couple more loans, I guess, because I have to get like some mercs here. Free company. Yeah, bankruptcy is looming. I'm just hoping High American Tech's OP, which it is. Yeah, I'm just better. I don't know what his mill tech is. It's 12. Mine's 9, but I think the High American balance is the High American's a questionable unit type. I'm just better than him 3 techs behind. No worries. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm just gonna crush him three tech levels behind. I'm annoyed though, because he's kind of like boating around and just kind of being a dick. But I'm murdering him the best I can. And trying to get my indigenous done. Gonna murder his troops here. Apparently he has the war goal though. But like, yeah, gotta like move over and deal with rebels. It's a little bit hard to deal with this at the moment. The good news is that we're getting our reforms while this is happening, so it's, it is what it is. Ooh, 20,000 men there. So that's actually, we're going to have to probably harsh treat here. Still on the edge of bankruptcy and can't really afford to deal with that at the moment. So we probably need to throw down at least 1 debase. It is the desperate times. Listen, I'm just showing you what you should do, but you need to be better than me, okay? That's what it is. You got this. But we're going to fight up here, and I fully believe in you guys to be better. Showing you the concept, but you're going to have to perfect it, right? Oh, I didn't mean to repay a loan. Dang it. The base. But this is not good. We need to hold on, but that might be in the form of debases. We'll win the war. We just have to keep going. I mean, all this time we're getting reforms, right? And maybe Portugal can give me some money to help me stay afloat. We're just going to have to debase again. It's kind of brutal. I did not pull this off perfectly, boys. But that's the point, is you're gonna see what I did and then make it better. Eventually Portugal will just either let me leave, or I'm hoping I could just actually win and get some money, but we'll see. He's not really doing anything now. Don't mind the constant max loans, bankruptcy living type thing, right? That's just a playmaker run. Like, you wouldn't know it was me, you know, unless those icons were right there. So I'm just gonna like go to the edge of bankruptcy, like, you know, and then we end the war, I guess. I don't want to debase again, so that seems reasonable, I guess. We got indigenous done though, that's good. So I think we have like a few more months, then we're just gonna end the war. Okay, so next month would be bankruptcy. So we're gonna try to take as much as possible. Is there any chance of war reps? No. I wonder if it'd be worth like war reps. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, I think. I'm gonna do war reps and 720 in this war. Because maybe his money will help me stay afloat. At least we get some money from him now, so that we probably shouldn't go bankrupt. Our 10 corruption is not my favorite scenario though. That kind of really sucks. We'll be okay. I think of this run as the rough draft, but it needs some tuning. So I have about 4,000 points. I'm going to see if that's enough. We're going to pick a theocracy here, and then we need to do our reforms. We can do the blood theocracy, which just gives you access to the blood mechanics still, and that basically means CCR. I'm going to grab the extra merchant, advisor cost, expand temple rights, military engineering, grab this one here that I can't pronounce, grab the stab cost here, empower the burgers here, whatever here is fine. The ones that are important are your tier 10 and tier 13. If you're tier 10, you need to do open public elections. I'm going to grab this 50% religious unity as well. It seems nice. I like this tax mod one here. You can see I was a little bit over, so you can see I had a bit too much reform because I'm going to be able to get this last one here. We are going to grab the war score cost for other religions, and you can see we're now completely done with that. You can see here we have negative 65% war score cost for other religions, and we have another 40 from just province war score cost, and they do stacks. So we have negative 105% war score cost. However, there's a cap of 90. Now you can see I would make plenty of money here, so I could definitely recover, and I wouldn't be worried about bankruptcy because, you know, I make a ton of money from the gold now. And obviously, I would be able to get both the institutions, so it'd take some time, but we could definitely catch up in pretty good time. And we are high American tax, so it's not a huge concern. And just to show you, I could take Portugal with only 27% war score, so that's why it's so powerful. But I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you guys want to see me play a part 2, let me know by liking the video. If it gets 1,000 likes, then I will go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one.